We're doing a little impromptu stream as I've sometimes do. I'm gonna build some Nuvem today. Um, yeah, totally unannounced stream, but here we are. I've always wanted to, build this deck, and I have a GNK that I'm running tomorrow. And I'm gonna put this deck together. Hopefully, I'll play a few games because it shouldn't be too long. I'm gonna play some good old fun reg Netrunner. Yeah. So I've got had like a bit of a frustrating day at work. Got a little Wendy's Frosty, and we're gonna build a fun corp deck. So we're kind of starting here. This is what I want to do, right? This has been like so much fun. Like the high room took so long to build, but the high room's been so much fun. And I'm just gonna be like throwing corp decks and runner decks together that I think are fun and interesting based off the way that I like to play the game, which is essentially in a way that's like the cards are flexible and I can kind of arrange the way that I'm playing in a way that suits the board state and suits the matchup. And one thing that came out in the new set is this card, is Reanimation Protocol. And that card was like, that's interesting. This is like a really good rush card if you can throw a big piece of ice in the bin and then like Reanimation Protocol it out, and then you like try to win the game very quickly. And that card on its own isn't quite it, but then you have Toxin. And then the decks started to kind of come together because Nuvem triggers off of operations or an action on an expendable card, which is both of these cards, right? And then Toxin also lets you search your deck for a barrier and a sentry and add those to HQ. So you're going to like get ice into your hand. I think Toxin on its own is not a good card because spending a click and a credit to draw a barrier and a sentry is not worth it because really you're just replacing itself and you're getting one other card and you have to pay a credit for that. And you're like thinning your deck, and that's just like not that great of a proposition for the corp. So you really have to put something together to make this work. I'm not saying that this is going to work, but I think this is going to be a pretty cool and a good attempt at trying to make this work. The other thing that Nuvem has is Mushu. I can't. Oh, why did we? Okay, good enough. There's only two cards that have MY in it. So that's a card, right? Nuvem's going to have a lot of money. We can kind of threaten this. It's probably a 1 or a 2 of. You probably shouldn't play 3, but it's a new card. Let's try to make 2 work, is what I'm thinking. And then you kind of need like probably you're playing Measured Response. That's just like probably a little too strong to not play. You're probably playing Basalt Spires. And then we kind of like fill in the deck as we kind of see the cards. This is how I usually like put a deck together, is like I have my typical card suggestions that we have down here, and I have like a basic idea that kind of got me on this page to begin with. Phil says, damn, to put on my summers already. Yeah, it is, isn't it? What's the weather like out in Calgary? Because in Abbotsford, like it's sunny. Like the sun just went down maybe like 30-40 minutes ago. I'm starting to see mosquitoes, which I have never seen out in BC. So days are getting longer, and probably is time to put on your summers. I've been doing a lot more coaching sessions lately, and I probably should have opened the stream with this, but I've been doing a lot more coaching sessions lately, and it's been kind of like motivating me to kind of do stuff like this because this was something that I spoke about in 2 of my recent sessions, was kind of what I'm looking at when I'm trying to play a deck, and I'm trying to put a deck together that's flexible and can do a lot of things. It can threaten a lot of things, and I'm not like kind of pigeonholed on the text of the cards. And this is probably a good example of that, because I'm going to be playing, like the deck is going to gel together in a way where we don't need a specific combo of cards, and these are all cards that are kind of going to be good on their own, and then they're going to be enhanced when they're together. And I'm not going to be playing like anything that's too specific, and you can always kind of take this ice, put it there, jam this agenda when you're maybe not ready to, or when you probably are usually not that comfortable to, you know. We're going to try to get something like that together. So because we're playing Myoshu, and because we're jamming agendas, want to play like one of Malapert. And then we can kind of like look at other decks that exist. I'm looking at Jai's list from way back when. One really good thing about this list that we need is the nano management, because you want to have some kind of fast advance closeout piece, because the rush decks like this are not always going to last into the late game, and if the game ever goes late and the runner has like a really good setup, then you need to have something to threaten scoring out. Now, it could be just like slash and burn, but I think we like the... Oh, there's also the one of Malapert in here too. So most of this deck's probably just going to be the same here. Now, he's got Seamless Launch. I don't know... I'm not that attached to Seamless Launch, but let's see what happens. He's got a Mav. I do like to have my purge effects. We want the above the law. We want... we can just probably look through the agendas on our own here. Slash and burn is probably just what we want. Like, I feel like this deck should be playing 3 slash and burns. Cap off the books is fine. And then there's your points. We can rearrange a little bit. But also I think Off-World is interesting, and Let Them Dream is interesting. So maybe we don't do that, and we just play Let Them Dream. Yeah, because like I think this agenda suite that he's got here is a little odd. And I think I'm more interested in just scoring points for the purposes of scoring points, and I want my deck speed to just be really fast. And I don't necessarily need Basalt Spire. It's an interesting one. Crazy idea, but bear with me. Nuvem, flood the market. No. The thing is, I don't want to make like something work unless there's something like particularly cool that Nuvem can do that makes that deck interesting. Because the thing is, like, the Flood the Market PD deck that's already out there is I think a bannable deck, and I don't like that's like too high of a bar for this to try to beat. So, yeah, you know what I mean. Okay, let's just get this done. Maybe we do play Seamless Launches. I want to play Let Them Dream. So this can go down. The off the books can go down. We don't really need off the books. Off the books is just a... Like, this is like the whole, you can search for an agenda and score it next turn. It's a thing. It's a thing. Like, it might just be better without Let Them Dream, and we just play the deck like this. I can see why you want 3 Basalt Spires, but, like, we don't need it. Let's go like this. Right? What are we missing? Missing petty cash. We're missing... Oh my gosh. We're missing KPI. KPI is a great card in this kind of deck because we're going to be like stacking ice. And the rest of the deck is probably just going to be ice. I don't know if we need this math. Am I missing anything? Oh, wall to wall and 3 anthills? Yeah. Don't need the cape. Don't need the DRM. And we don't need the pivot. So, yeah. Okay, so we definitely need anthill. And I feel like I can live without the wall to wall. How much ice do we have left in here, right? Like, we have 12, 30, 40, 15 ice. Yikes. So, if we go no wall to wall, this should be a one of. And play 3 reanimation protocols. Okay. I feel like off the books is going to be a little underwhelming, but that's okay. All right, let's fill the deck with ice. We have 15 influence spent, and I wasn't paying attention. That's a miracle. Okay, let's just keep it simple. This card is going to be searching for sentries and barriers, but we're just going to be like, right, Event Horizon, Envelopment maybe even. We definitely want like Winchesters, tree lines, potentially. We could go tree line Theros, but we kind of want small ice, so we're definitely playing Maskarovka. Hammer's an interesting one. Maybe is better than Winchester, honestly. Yeah, he plays 3 Hammer, 1 Winchester. I think I agree with that. And then 3 Logjam, 3 Tree Line. Yeah, that's the ice suite right there, for sure. Tree Line, Logjam. I think we probably still want 1 Winchester, and we can go 2 Hammers. And we're at 56 cards, and we just have the 3 Toxins as our code gates. Reanimation Protocol is such a good card in this deck, actually. So maybe we actually just want to play bigger ice. What is there? Biowak? Can we just reanimation a Biowak and pay? Well, we'd be paying 6 credits for it. Hammer is probably quite good. Hammer should be better than Winchester here. Logjam is pretty good. Like, that's something we can reanimation. We could do Pharos instead. It's an interesting call. Probably is better. Right? You need to have like 5 face-up card types in the bin. And really you're just going to have like 2. Yeah, I think I'm actually just going to play with Pharos. Not that excited about these tree lines. But it is like a 4-strength barrier, which is pretty good. Then I think we want... I don't think we want 3 Event Horizons. Event Horizon's like not a good card. Like, you need to put it with other stuff. Like maybe 3 is still justified, but the stats on Event Horizon is just not good. I don't know if the Winchester's needed. Like, we probably actually just cut this, which feels bad. No, I think the 1-of is a good call. Is there anything on the neutral side that we're missing? Not really. We could play a Fly Swatter. I think there is Fly Swatter here. Hammer, Winchester, yeah. But we could just play Toxins. Toxin, Hammer, Event Horizon. Play 2 copies of Pharos, which we can find with the Toxin, which really means we could probably just get away with playing 1, and then we can use the tree lines on the Pharos. We got the Masquerade early. 5, 6, 7, 8, 16 ice. We probably want to cut something here. This deck might just have too much money. Like KPI is probably just a 2-of. And then you just exclusively use it to install ice. KPI is like a good card as a 2-of. The main thing is that it makes a 1-credit operation, but that's just cute. Oh, that's true. Off the books is 6 with 2x slash and burn because you can summon your Spin Doctor. Sure. Do you think you'll be advancing Pharos? I think only with Treeline. Only with Treeline. Unless the game slows down a bit, and I think I can see it. Is watching stream count as scouting for tomorrow? It does, and it's very encouraged. Because that means you'll be coming tomorrow, and I haven't gotten confirmation that you're coming tomorrow. I want to play. I'm like itching to play. Maybe we just play. I need to stop thinking. Give me another ice. Is it Hammer? Is another Event Horizon? Let's go like this. Alright. Yeah. Looks good. Alright. Let's play. Oh, I don't have the deck list overlay set up. I'll do that while we're waiting for a game. But if a game doesn't come, or if a game comes right away, then that sucks. Okay. Let me see if I can open this deck list thing. Okay. Okay. All right, we got a Vic. This is a sick hand. Like, an absolutely sick hand. I probably need to zoom in a little bit, hey? I'll check the dimensions in a second. That looks good. Move that over a little bit. Oh my gosh. Why is this locking into place? I don't know. All right, let's go. What are we doing? We're playing Petty Cash. right? Or are we just like searching for ice right away? No, we're playing petty cash. Trash event horizon? Yes. And then we're gonna put a tree line on each queue. Actually, wait. We're just gonna go ahead and expend this now. Maskarovka, Pharos, tree line. Right, so we want probably the Pharos. Or maybe another tree line. Get the mask. And then we'll get a hammer for R&D. Top card is Toxin. Good to know. Trash Toxin. No, thank you. And then we'll just get the mask on HQ is fine. Okay. And then we're going to hold on to this tree line because we're going to be putting that on this Pharos that we're going to be getting with the Toxin, and then we're going to be reanimating the Toxin. See, this access is safe because we know what's on top of the deck. Now, we could hold off on this petty cash and just expend the Toxin. We could also just reanimation the Toxin right now. We're also up against Crim, so like there is value in just blocking them out of all servers. So maybe we do that, actually. I think we are going to do that. Let's install the Toxin on R&D. Top card's Reanimation Protocol. No, I don't want to trash that. And then we go put this on Archives and take a credit. All right. So next turn, we're going to draw the Reanimation Protocol. We're going to play the Toxin to get a... Which means I could play the Petty Cash. This deck is coming together. Icing up after early Dream, it seems good due to Praxis. That makes sense. I mean, I'm not scared of Praxis yet, but it's good to get the ice out there. It just blocks out clean getaways and the DreamNet value. If they run HQ, they're going to run into a Maskarovka, which means I can res Archives. And if they run Archives, I'm still going to res, and then they can run HQ. All right. I think we're just going to play this. Unless we want a reanimation right now. But there's nothing that I'm actually going to be like getting out of the deck. So we're just going to play this because I want money. Top card's Hammer. How does this work? Top card of R&D. Thing is, I don't actually need Hammer anymore. Because I'm actually just going to... I'm going to get a Winchester and put that on HQ here. So we'll trash that. Let's expend this to get a Pharos and a Winchester. Because we need a second ice on HQ because we're up against Crim. Top card is Hedge Fund. I would love to draw the Hedge Fund next turn. And let's put the Winchester on HQ. And we'll just throw the Pharos out there. We've had a pretty sick draw. Like, the top 14 cards of the deck has not had an agenda, which is good in the Crim matchup, but is not good in, like, most matchups. Sanjay, how you doing? The people want more Unleashing Cloud Eaters and such. Okay. Start turn. Let me... I can just, like, reanimation this toxin on the board. Like, Jesus. What is this criminal gonna do? I actually don't need to do that yet. Let's play this. Another reanimation protocol. Like, we can just put a hammer on R&D now. That's crazy. Trash reanimation protocol? No. Let's go install res spin doctor. Guys, I think we have a sick deck. Oh my god. Which one do I want? Do I want the hammer or the toxin? I think the toxin is better. Just get the toxin, right? Absolutely. I don't need that. Give me $2. This is crazy. Although, maybe there's something to be said about, like, I might be doing this a little too aggressively, and I should actually use one of the reanimations on HQ, which means I should shuffle this something back. One of them back. I should definitely shuffle the seamless launch back. Toxin has so many good words and numbers printed on it. It sure does. I don't think we want to pop... Oh, actually, we do want to pop the Spin Doctor, because any agenda I draw, I just want to score it. So let's do this. We're just going to keep doing the reanimations. That's an excellent draw. Okay, I think we, like, expend for the Event Horizon, and probably... I don't think we want the Maskarovkas anymore. So... it's probably Pharos? Or it's Treeline? Let's just get the Treeline for now. And we'll get the Event Horizon. We're probably going to trash... Ooh. So I could reanimation that. Sure. So I do want the money. And then we're going to go with this here. And Event Horizon here. We do need to double ice just so they can't, like, boomerang through. We do want a third ice on HQ sometime soon. But currently there's not really much of a threat. They know that Archives is Hammer, which is a good play by them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It only cost them 1 credit to make this run. So that is a problem. This is where the bad pub starts coming in, right? They also have the Chesby money. Do I tax them that $1? I don't think so. We'll get another ice on there, and then we'll tax them the $1 later. Okay. This anthill is a very good draw. We got a leech. Okay, so we need to ice Archives ASAP. Do we reanimate onto Archives? Just get, like, a toxin on there? Probably. Although Treeline's fine too. Yeah, we probably just put a Treeline on there. Yeah, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. So let's play this. We'll trash it. We want the money. Oh, wait. I could draw that, actually. No, hang on. We're gonna hedge fund, and then we're gonna draw that. Oh, but then I don't get my trigger at all. Yep, nope, we're trashing it. And then we'll put this on archives. And then we'll draw last click. Should have drawn before installing the ice. Don't worry about it. Need to fix our Discord server's live notifications. Has it not been working? Yeah, I guess not. Okay, need another ice on HQ. This double toxin server is just never going to get run. Give me something good. It's another reanimation protocol. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. The problem is I don't have an agenda. Like, I don't really want to just jam this, but I think we're just going to have to. Let's start by playing this on HQ. I have to start scoring here. And I should probably just go on the remote, actually. Winchester and Mask. Okay, we're gonna put it on the remote. We have to have a secure remote as step one. Ooh, an anthill. I think we have to just start scoring the slash and burns. So we're gonna trash that. And then we're just gonna store a slash and burn in here along with the Mav. Or we just single advance. Don't love either option. Let's just store the Mav. We don't need to tree line the Pharaohs quite yet, so I'm just kind of holding off on that. It'll happen eventually, I think, but there's no need right now because they're not actually going to make it this far, and if they do, they're just 5-strength Pharaohs is good enough. So in the meantime, the tree line is just going to sit in hand and pad HQ. Oh, wow. Should have iced HQ. This is okay. It's going to cost them like a little bit here, but we are going to want another ice on HQ. And the bad pub is starting to add up. I've played 3 reanimation protocols, and I'm about to play a 4th one. The Maskarovka might actually just be bad. Yeah, triple toxin, but I feel like we might find a way to lose this game with the reanimation protocols and the bad pub. Slash and burn. We kept the measured response, which is very important. That's greedy. Although this barrier on the outside thing is actually a problem. They can farm counters with the bad pub. So this Pharos might actually just not be that good. If they continue, this hammer is actually going to hit them for one of the subs. Minstrel, good morning. Yeah, we're running into a barrier problem here with Kurupira. Yikes. I feel like we have to like advance, and then put 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We just put a Pharos on each cube. Oh, I should have done this the other way, because there's technically information here, but it's okay. Tree line. Yeah, get rid of it. We'll just take the $2. It could be used to advance it, but I feel like the advancing the Pharos thing isn't actually going to come into play because of the curve here. This tree line on the outside is a problem. I'm gonna have to... I might actually have to tree line this tree line. I think that makes a lot of sense, actually. Oh yeah, also hi. Hi! There's the shibboleth. We do like to see that. We do like to see that. Can we make it in here? Oh, wait. Wait. What? That was an automatic click, but I probably shouldn't res this. What has happened? Okay, so let's just de-res and gain $4. And now they know it's an event horizon, but that's okay. This is taxing. I just gave them like the biggest piece of free information, but that's okay. Shibby into Toxin. Yeah, we like want them to steal this. Right? Like they got a 4 points, and then now they have this shibboleth. Like they're never ever running R&D, so I'm just like windmilling agendas into the remote, and like we'll see what happens. Hey, that's probably not what we wanted. It's interesting. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then they can bypass. So I could totally just like install advance. Four, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Okay, I think they're going to run this thinking that it's 2 points, and it's actually 1 point. Because they can make it in. It's going to cost them all their money. And it's going to use up the Kurapira. So then my next jam is going to be safe. Okay, didn't see that coming. Although it makes sense in a Vic deck. But we just tree lined the tree line, so... You know? Took me a second to realize it's Nuvem. BTL too slow or just not a synergy with reanimation. We're trying to make a reanimation protocol toxin deck, and I feel like we've done that. And I feel like the Nuvem makes the most sense. I think the ice just like I think Pharos and Treeline is just good enough. That's kind of where we came from to get here, but I didn't really think about BTL. BTL is like a very good, ID that you can just advance agendas with, if nothing else. But yeah, we wanted to do the Nuvem toxin reanimation thing. You can never advance the Let Them Dream and then put Slash and Burn back in hand with the ability to. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. Found them off the top. Fair enough. I think we did well. We just didn't, find the agendas early, and we probably spent a little too much time just, icing up centrals. No. Agendas and archives, didn't you? No, we don't have agendas and archives. Leaving the tree line as is made it too easy for you to get Kuru Pira counters. Probably just isn't familiar with BTL since it's such an old ID. Okay, let's go again. Let's go again. Yeah. That was good. We got our setup. The bad pub was really building. I played 4 reanimation protocols that game, and I spent a lot of the ice on R&D, which I think was just that's just where the hole kind of was at the time. Or maybe not a hole, but it was where the next ice should have gone. So I don't know if I could have played that too differently. If we had drawn agendas, then we would have been a little bit more aggressive in pushing out agendas, and maybe an extra reanimation ice would have gone on the remote for that purpose. But it wasn't what we got. All right. We've got an ESSA. We've got a hedge fund, a petty cash, and a toxin. So I think what we can do is we can hedge fund and then fire off the toxin, and then we'll save the petty cash for the ESSA. And if we do it in that order, we can actually control our deck. That's actually not true. Let's just do this now. Definitely not a Maskarovka. And I think we'll just take the hammer. Reanimation protocol? Dang it. We probably have to just get rid of that here. I think we just need the money. Yeah, we just need the money, unfortunately. Alternatively, I could leave it, and then it's just a safe card on top of R&D. Ugh. No, we'll trash it. This goes on HQ. The hammer probably goes on R&D. And then we can figure it out. All right. And then this Winchester is going to go on HQ. So we're going to have to find a different ice to score. And we do kind of want to start scoring. That's fine. Slot red cap, right? Without multiple reanimations, there's no other bad pub for red cap, but maybe Valentine Trebuchet is good here too. I mean, maybe, right? Because you can reanimate the Trebuchet and not take bad pub because it's a liability ice. That's a thing. Our friend here loves to run. The Maskarovka seems a bit soft. Yeah, it's just like good early. This is a great draw. Give me the hedge fund. Spin Doctor. Yikes. Gosh. Is this what playing Nuvem is like? It is, isn't it? Nah, YOLO. YOLO. We need our ID. I don't know if we install this tree line. We're not in a rush to put another ice on HQ. So we could set up the tree line. But like this is always going to go there. So we might as well just do it now. Just in case there's some kind of aggressive Chastushka. Wow, really? Yeah, that's fine. Trebuchet Bad Pub is on res, not as a cost. No, but... Oh, they stole. No, Reanimation Protocol says that you only take a Bad Pub if it's a non-liability ice. So, Trebuchet is a liability ice, so then you wouldn't take the Bad Pub. Or you'd only take one Bad Pub instead of two. They're just finding them. Now Measured Response is online. I'm okay with this. Ooh. Okay. Kind of in a dangerous territory now. We're not going to put another ice on R&D. That's not correct. Could play the KPI. That doesn't really get us what we want. Like, kind of struggling here if we play this petty cash or not. Could also just jam. But we'd be jamming a Let Them Dream behind a Event Horizon and a tree line. And that's just going to get Botulist. Ugh. Okay. Sure. We'll set it up, and then like we might be set up here to just like score Let Them Dream, get Basalt, score Basalt. Okay. They run R&D, am I rezzing? Don't think so. No, you can have it. They find Basalt, they win the game. But otherwise, they're not setting up their board, so that's okay. Ooh, it's a good draw. Miyoshu. Unfortunately, it was shown to us with Nuvem, so we're getting rid of it. Just gonna keep poking. They might find the thing here, but like, unfortunately, we just have a hammer, and it's just gonna give them a tag. Maybe I should res it. But like, they should install something soon, right? I don't know why they're just clicking for credits now. That's interesting. What an interesting game. I guess we'll just like, we probably should have just left the Myoshu on top of the deck. Probably. Hedge fund. Yeah, we'll just leave that. Because they like to poke. Let's just like pull a Basalt Spire out of the deck and put it in the remote. What are they gonna do? They're gonna Botulus the tree line? They could do that. If they go Botulus the tree line, run R&D, or run the remote, you got me, right? Do we res this to make them pay 3 credits? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 leaves me with 4 credits. Leaves me with 5 credits. I spend 3, we gain 2, so we go down to 4 credits. I could play the KPI. But there is no need. I'm really paying 4 to tax them 3. And I'd rather just keep my money. Just in case we need to like res ice on other places. Because the remote is not relevant anymore, most likely. And I also don't want to show them the Event Horizon. That might be relevant. I feel like you could have resed, and it would have been reasonable. Wow, they hit the steel skin off that too. We'll trash this and say done. Lost a KPI, sure. Wait, did I get my 2 credits for that? I don't think I did. Oh, it says during each of my turns. Right. Haven't played Nuvem in a while. Okay. So it's... I can use KPI to shuffle the deck if I need to. So we'll just go ahead and expend. Hammer, let's get rid of that. And then we'll play Seamless Launch. We're going to see an off the books. Okay, so now we got to think, right? We actually want this off the books. So we'll say okay and say no. And we'll probably play the KPI to draw and shuffle. I could also just use the Basalt. But I want to know that the top card of the deck is safe, right? So let's do that. Let's... Oh, but then we have the Basalt trigger. I don't think there's anything I can do about that. It just makes HQ a little bit more dangerous, but they have to get in still. We'll just play it. Advance, let's draw. This is going to keep us our Basalt counter. Top card of the deck, Spin Doctor. Sure. Trash Spin Doctor. No. Score. Oh, right. And then there's a Marrow. Forgot about that. Oh, and I should have Basalted before they started their turn, but now it's too late. We have not been very accurate. Done. They're probably going to win here. But this is like a fine res. It's not going to do anything. They're probably going to win here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many agendas are there? 10. There's a 3 in 26, and they're going to access 4 cards. That's Score and use at the runner's turn. Choose a resource or a piece of hardware. Sure. So we're gonna trash this and give you a tag. The rest of it's not gonna do anything. Sure. We win. Crazy. Could I have done something differently that game? It's an interesting question. It's an interesting question. GG. All right. Go again. Guy. I think based off the games that we've played, the deck isn't good enough, which is a little bit sad. The Mav is not very necessary. The Malapert's probably good. Reanimation, Petty Cash, Nano. The Mioshu's probably good. Like, it just kind of comes down to if we draw the stuff or not, and we're throwing a lot of the deck out. The agenda balance is probably good. Like, we could swap the Mav for another Let Them Dream. Like, I think that actually fixes some of the problems we're experiencing. Is if we actually just put more Let Them Dreams in the deck, A, it's just better if the runner steals them rather than a different agenda. And B, when we score them, we can search for an agenda. And that's actually very useful. Oh, there's no ice in this hand. This hand is so good. We're up against Padma. I think we gotta keep this. We gotta play it. We got a Spin Doctor, right? Like, we're up against a Shaper. We can keep a greedier hand against Shaper. We've got another Reanimation Protocol. Let's open with Hedge Fund, I guess. Another Anthill. Let's get rid of that. Let's draw a card. Oh my gosh. All right. Let's just throw that out there. We've got two of them. Well, we probably want both of them, but there was nothing else we were going to do that turn. We could have installed the Spin Doctor, but, like, we're against Shaper. They might not check that. They might have better things to do. I mean, most decks might have better things to do. Maybe we should have installed the Spin Doctor. But I'm still pretty happy about the Anthill here. They can steal some agendas. My brain cannot math the combination. What was the odds of losing out of R&D? So what you do is you go to Netrunner DB, and you view any deck, and then you go to the card draw simulator, and you click more, and then you go 26 cards in the deck, 3 desired cards, number of cards drawn, so we draw 4 cards, and the chances of one at least is 41%. So they had a 41% chance of stealing an agenda there. I could probably also do that without using the calculator, and I can explain the math to you, but I don't want to do that right now. But it's like we'll get there. We'll get there. Oh my gosh, it's a Toxin. Yo, that's so sick. That's so sick. See, the next card's probably a card that we want, but that's okay. Let's just go ahead and expend this and get ourselves a Pharaohs. Yeah, we get ourselves a Pharaohs and a Winchester. Or a hammer. Ooh. We want a hammer or do we want a Winchester? I feel like we want a Winchester. Yeah. Okay, and then we're gonna get rid of the hedge fund. And then we're gonna install, now we have too many cards in our hand. How did that happen? 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my gosh, okay. So now we're gonna put the Pharos on server 1, and we're gonna reanimate the Toxin on R&D. And we're gonna see another reanimation protocol. That, I mean, we actually, oh, right. So we've already trashed. So what we say is we say no trash, and we just discard the other reanimation protocol, because we know there's another one coming up. That works out. It's like 3 out of 26. It's 3 out of 26, and then it's like where you don't hit it, then you plus the rest of the odds, right? So it's like 3 divided by 26 plus 3 divided by 25 plus 3 divided by 24 plus 3 divided by 23. And then that would get you 41%. This run on HQ is really weird. Wow, they hit a relevant card. That sucks, but I'd rather lose the spin than lose the anthill, so that's good, at least. They're kind of running now because they know that the Winchester's coming down, which is fair enough. Are we scared about a run on archives, potentially? Let's play this. Seamless launch. Get rid of it. You basically just like trash 95% of the things that you see because you're just getting extra money. Or wait, 3 out of... No, I did that wrong. Sorry. The way that you do that math is you calculate the chances that they miss. So, because they have to miss all the times, right? So it's actually, I totally did that wrong. Hopefully nobody like took that down and then left the stream. The correct way to do the math is 23 out of 26. That's the chances that you miss. And you add 4 misses. So 23 out of 26. And then it becomes 22 out of 25, right? And then you go down that line 4 times. That is the correct way to do that math. Let's play this. It's an off the books. I want that. We could just draw that and then just put another ice on HQ. It's kind of okay. Although I kind of want to jam it. But we should draw another ice. And I don't really want to play this KPI. So... Ooh, this is a tough choice. Because if I don't draw another ice next turn, then the jam's like not that great. So we could put this on the remote. Let's do that. Didn't realize I had an extra click. We advanced the Pharos once. Yeah, we're gonna advance the Pharos once. We're gonna slow advance this Pharos because I have this extra click and I don't know what to do with it. It's a really weird line. But, like, Propeller doesn't get them through Masquerovka Pharos, so that's why I think the Masquerovka on the remote just makes sense. They're not really going to come and run HQ here with the Winchester. So the Winchester can just hold it down right now, and if we find another ice, we can honestly just put that on the remote. Probably just going to, like, install Advance the off the books and... play another card somewhere. Maybe play the KPI. That'll just get another advancement token on there. Get us our ID trigger. And that's kind of okay. Find another mask. Yeah, the Masquerovkas are just good early. Maybe we don't actually need the Masquerovkas. That's interesting. Do we actually want to just get this Pharos up? You just like have a bunch of barriers on this server? Yeah, what the heck? Let's just do it. No, but the KPI should be like... I don't know. Because we're going to have to put like an event horizon on this server later. Let's just play it safe. Let's go like this. We'll go place an advancement counter on the Pharos, and we'll install this on the remote, and we're gonna see a measured response. Ooh, whatever. And then we're gonna advance the Pharos. We're gonna take the safest line possible just to protect our points. But I think with this deck should actually play 3 Let Them Dreams. HQ, hey? Alright. Toxin's pretty good. Man, double Toxin on R&D was just overkill that game. I shouldn't have done that. Should not have done that. Yeah, the math that I can't believe I thought that was correct. Yeah, 3 out of 26. And then 3 out of 20 is like totally wrong. Totally, completely wrong. It's like you do the chances that they miss. Okay. We're just like chaining off the books now. And we found a tree line, which is hilarious. Yeah, it's fine. Petty cash? Yeah. Yeah, we should be playing... Maybe Slash and Burn? Oh, man. Like, we want all those agendas. Slash and Burn's... It's a good little extra card to have. I don't know. It'd be awkward enough that it justifies the Let Them Dream. Or maybe what we do is we just play 2 Let Them Dreams because we just like removing the Mavris and then I don't have to cut any other influence. That's probably the play. Because we're actually naturally good against the virus deck already. Yeah, it's probably the play. We just cut 1 Slash and Burn. Could also cut an Above the Law. No. That's crazy. How are we breaking this? Oh, we just have no money? Sure. Okay. Event Horizon? Okay. Trash Event Horizon? Do I need to? Not really. Let's just say no. We're just gonna like advance this 3 times. Or wait. Maybe we do Trash Event Horizon. And then I play the hedge fund. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, then we're gonna play the hedge fund. Wait, if I advance this 3 times, next turn we're gonna go advance, score, install advance, Let Them Dream. And then I basically need to find a fast advance tool. So actually, I should just advance this 3 times now. Like, we're like a little... We're actually like 1 click short still. Because next turn we go advance. Oh, that's not how this card works. This card has to be at the end of the turn. It's not Atlas. They might steal here now. Oh, never mind. They're not getting in. Why do I think they're getting in? That's fine. This card is not Atlas. That is what I learned today. That is a toxin, though. And that is excellent. So, advance, score, and then we're just going to get Basalt. Advance, score, we're going to toxin, so I should probably play something here first. Hedge fund, toxin, advance. Thinking. Okay, let's actually figure this out here, because I want to res all the ice, right? And the freaking Event Horizon is going to cost us like 7 credits. So that's 14. Like, maybe we don't actually need the Event Horizon, and we just go for the reanimation protocol on R&D. Or we could just reanimation the Event Horizon from the bin right now. So we go advance, reanimation, because we're gonna get a Basalt Spire is the plan here, right? So we go advance, reanimation, ice, R&D. That makes a lot of sense, I think. So let's do this now. Top card's Hammer. Sure. Advance, score. We could also get a seamless launch with this, but like we don't really need to complicate it. Yeah, there's no need to complicate it. Let's just 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. What's the code gate breaker here? It's like Penrose, right? We think we can afford this. I think we can afford that because we go 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We're going to play the hedge fund and go advance twice. So that's, I mean, we could sit back and do the math a little bit more, but that's okay. We're essentially paying 4 extra credits compared to the tree line for an extra strength and an extra 2 subs. So that's like about the same. It is a code gate versus a barrier though, so it might be better to actually have the different types there. But the breaker is Penrose. We might also just install the Spin Doctor. That might be a thing. If they steal this, surely the double measured response kills. Hey, Gordy, how you doing? They're not going to steal this for sure. Because they'd have to break through Pharos twice. and that's like a lot of stealth credits with Penrose. So I don't think like I'm fairly confident they're not going to steal this. Like the way we lose this game is out of R&D. That's where we're directing a lot of our attention here. Okay. Then I come and run HQ and try to sweep it, which is good. It's a waste of their time. Based off the way that I've been playing, like I've been using off the books to find my agendas. Like there is never, ever, ever a world where there is an agenda in HQ. The best thing you're going to do is trash measured responses, which is relevant. But like this run itself is costing you 8 credits, right? Like you got to pay $2 for the cup. Well, I guess you're paying 1. Like, yeah, 2 for the Winchester, 1 for the cup, 3 for the measured response. I've got 2 bad pubs, so I guess you're coming out ahead, assuming that I'm going to be playing the measured. Ooh. That's a great draw. Okay, thinking. All right, let's do some math. If I can avoid playing this hedge fund and put the spin on the board, that is better. 8 plus 7 is 15. Plus 5 is 20. $20 is what we need. Every Maskarovka we res in addition to that is a little bonus. We probably should plan to res the Maskarovkas. So that's 15, 20, 26. 26 credits. If I play the KPI, we're going to be gaining 2 credits, right? Because we're essentially spending a click and a credit to advance, which is what we're going to, it was in that math anyways. So we're going to gain $2 and we're going to gain 2 more bucks off the ID, which gets us to 22. And we said we want 26. So I guess we're not going to install the Spin Doctor. And I think that makes sense. So let's go ahead and do that. In that case, we should delay the KPI and just play the hedge fund first. Top credits tree line. We actually don't need to trash this because this is gaining me 4 credits and that's all I need. So we actually don't need to trash this tree line. I can just advance this twice, right? 8, 15. Oh, I'm 1 short. Yeah. That's fine. We'll be 1 short. I don't know if they're going to be running the remote and running R&D. But they might. They might. But it's going to like suck up their econ here. Because if they run R&D, they're going to lose something. And if they run the remote, they're going to lose something. So they're going to run the remote, so we're not going to res the toxin. We'll just res the other stuff. And then this KPI is ending up going to be not relevant. But I don't think they can do this, because they only have 4 stealth credits, and they're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they actually just can't get in. They can't get in even without the Event Horizon. Then the Event Horizon really seals the deal. But deal was already sealed. We got the extra $2, so now we can res the toxin. Which might be relevant here, actually. It is actually going to be relevant here. Oh, it's not, because they only have 1 run. And they need 2 to go runner agendas. And one of them has to be the Basalt. Okay. Here's the Pharos. Can't get through that. Yeah, unfortunately they're just going to bounce there. And that's going to be the end of the game. Solid game. It's a little like, this is an unfortunate matchup for them because I'm like taking bad pub and trying to res ice, and they are playing a stealth deck, which means that the bad pub is actually of limited use if their breakers are relying on stealth credits. This res is unnecessary, but that's okay. We won't give them an agenda. I just paid $8 for that toxin. Man, this bad pub thing is like not ideal. Not ideal at all. Wait, they had a... Oh, it's 5 strength. Never mind. I thought this stopped them from getting in. I did that math wrong. I thought this cost 2 counters, but it does not. Do they get the exit? The exit agenda? No. What's it called in soccer? Consolation. Got the consolation prize. GG. Okay, let's do one more. Oh, I just hit print. No, I don't want to print this. I want to edit it. Okay. Let's edit the deck. So we're going to put another Let Them Dream and cut out the Mav. We haven't seen this Malapert in any of our games. The econ balance is pretty good. I probably want a third Let Them Dream, but the... Oh, I'm supposed to cut out Slash and Burn. And that gives us probably the wall-to-wall. And then maybe the ice gets rejigged a little bit because we don't like the Maskarovka. I don't know if that's true. But let's put in the third Pharos. Let's cut down a Maskarovka. Don't know if any of the other ice is particularly relevant. The hammers have, like, the thing is, like, the hammer is, like, kind of matchup dependent. It always was. I could just play log jams instead of the Maskarovka. That's interesting. Not that excited about Logjam, though. I think Pharos is just better. You can boomerang through Pharos, sure, but I think the speed that I'm trying to play at suits the Pharos more. And then, like, you could put in, like, Valentaus and, like, at least Trebuchets, and then you can actually put in Red Caps. Don't think I want to go in that direction. I think we'll just play it like that. I don't know if I'm more excited to play this deck than Melia's, though. Like, I might just show up tomorrow playing Melia's. Because Melia's has been really fun. It's just like, I feel like the micro interactions are fun to me, but the like big picture interaction of of Charlotte, Lacosta, Void. Like, I'm getting secondhand boredom. Like, I'm not bored because I'm doing the little micro dance of the melees, and I think that's very interesting. But I feel like my opponent is probably bored, and that's like making me feel bad. Yeah. Oh, I copied. I'm gonna have to. Let's go here. Corp. We did edit the list, yeah. We now have 2 Let Them Dreams. Yeah, maybe I'm not like that excited about this one. It's doing what we want to do. Like I maybe we should give it a couple more games. But I think just like compared to melees, I've been pretty happy with playing melees. It's been really fun. There's other deck ideas that I have on my list that I plan on building in the future. This was one of the first ones. I probably am going to put it together and play it. The Mewtwo hasn't come up yet. I want to build a deck with Hackerspace. That card hasn't seen any play yet, and I feel like that's a fun card to build a deck with. Because you can just like fill your deck with companions and connections. And they're like all kind of cheap to install already, and now they cost 0, and you got an extra hand size, which is a little bit of damage tech. I think that's interesting. There's a deep dive with Baker and Simul chips. Lots of stuff you can do out of Ob. I don't want to... Yeah, like, could do an Ob thing. I kind of like that. Like, Ob is like such a good ID, and there's a lot of good ways to build Ob, and that makes me like not want to do that because it's just a little... Like, I feel like if I build a monster into Ob, which I think I can, then it kind of like takes over. It could potentially like take over the meta a little bit, and I actually don't want that to happen because I don't really like Ob. But maybe I do it, and then well, yeah. Not really. It's not really going to get us anywhere. But yeah, I think there's a deck in Op for sure. Pharaohs is just nightmarish to deal with. Yeah. No way Hackerspace is any good. Oh, come on. Come on. See, that's like exactly why I want to build a deck with it. Because I'm like in my like fuck around and have fun phase, right? So like I think there's a lot of like good decks out there. Like Ob is one of them. I think the PD deck with Flood the Market is bannable. I think there's a very boring but very good Leo deck that we played against that Metrics Go was playing with like 1 Mioshu and Train, and like that deck is probably like also very good. Yeah, I wanna do the other stuff. And Hackerspace, that's a card. That is a card. We can install any number of them. You know? Like, we could just fill this card with companions and connections that we installed for 1 less, and then we can use Polly's Cafe to install our other stuff, for super cheap. And then, you know, and then you kind of have that meme where you go do X and then you have like dot 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 win question mark. That's kind of where we're at right now. I'll do that some other day. I bet if you build it, you'll match into an above the law in game 1 after filling it up. Yeah, fair. That is a thing. Hey, Alu, this is a good matchup for us because we have a lot of ice in our deck. That is big, and we like to res. That's a good hand. That's a good draw. How do we want to handle that? We probably just want to ice HQ, ice R&D here, and then we'll put the Pharaohs in front of the anthill. Don't really want to do that super early. Top card is Spin Doctor. Did they keep? They did. If they have a Gourmand, they could come in and trash something out of hand. We really don't want that. We're going to do it this way. We're not going to ice R&D. We're just going to give them that access. Because I think we actually want the hammer on HQ. Because again, like Gourmand and stuff is going to be coming in. Petty Cash is excellent. Miyoshu is going to get trashed yet again. Okay. Like, even if you get to overinstall companions to gain credits with Keiko, it can't be worth it. Is it just me, or is the volume lower than normal compared to other videos? It is lower than usual. I usually plug in my mic. I didn't today because... What is happening? Avgastina, draw a cookbook fermenter. That's fine. I didn't plug in my mic today because I have my washing machine going in the background, and I think like my mic is really sensitive, and when I was back in my dorm at UBC, it would pick up the sound of my fridge, which was like just nearby. So I didn't plug in my mic because my washing machine was going. So it is a little lower. Thank you for pointing that out though. Like, it sounds like that's impacting you a little bit, which means that next time I'll make a bigger effort to plug in my mic. Top card is off the books. Well, we could go no and then draw it and then go install here. Now, do we want to treeline the Pharaohs, or do we actually just want ice volume? It's Lu, and they're also playing Avgastina, which means they're playing Botulus, so we actually just want ice volume. Quantity, not quality. That's what we need against Botulus. Quantity. I just have enough agendas to just score out here. That's a hedge fund. Wow, we don't actually need to pre-advance any of this, but we might as well, because we're not doing anything else with our turn. They seem to love to poke R&D, but we actually, like, don't need to ice R&D at all. Like, we also have Malapert. Like, how am I not just install double advancing? We're definitely scoring this. Yeah. What do you ban in the PD flood deck? Cinco? Good question. Fully op? I feel like I dislike Fully Op as a card because it's like too easy of a bounce back card. I personally kind of dislike the fact that we're like have these busted abilities for having single card behind single ice. Like I feel like that's like a little easy to do. But it's like all very draw dependent to begin with. What are we doing here? We could just like Malapert for another Seamless. That's crazy. Like, this turn is res. Advance. No, we don't even need to do that. No, we should, because they might steal something. You just find this basalt. No, okay. Okay, hang on. Okay, we actually Seamless, and we'll like put this on HQ. So actually it's okay. So we do Seamless. We see Reanimation Protocol. We don't need that. And then we go Score. We go Score. Search R&D for a non-agenda card. Yes. We're going to get a Seamless. And then we're going to put this on the remote and put this on HQ. And we're going to go get a Basalt Spire. Okay. And then we're going to go Seamless, Slash and Burn, Score, and then we have the Slash and Burn for the off the books right away. And they just can't get in. Trash top card of the deck? Sure. Oh, it's a Seamless launch. That sucks. Pinhole is fine. Ban flop so I don't have to build that Synapse list you spitballed for me. Joe, are you going to build that? Because if you don't, I will. I'll play it tomorrow. I was thinking about that. But the thing is, like, it sounded like you were going to play it. And if you were going to play it, I wasn't also going to bring it. Because there isn't that many of us. So, like, is there really a need for two people to bring the same deck? Not really, right? Okay, this is interesting because I might actually lose this off the books. I guess I always trash this. Because we're just going to be using the Basalt Spire next turn anyways. That's good to know that there's a measured there. That's really good to know that there's a measured there. So I don't need to use the Basalt ahead of time. Fully Up kind of fills the space that Mascom used to. But, like, that was the problem, right? Because, like, Mascom meant that you could pick up from such low credits, and, like, that was the problem that got Mascom banned. And I feel like Fully Up is kind of operates that same space and operates, like, creates the same problem. Because, like, it's so easy to do that, right? Like, if you're at 1 credit, you can just install, like, you already have your ice, right? The ice is going to be there, and you're going to go install a card here, Fully Up, gain 5. And now you've, like, you know, you don't have a lot of money, but now you have money, you can threaten to res your stuff, and your ice is still going to be there. So, like, naturally, it makes players play ice destruction decks, which is just, I feel like, is not a very pleasant gameplay experience. Because ice destruction decks often turn into, like, did I draw the stuff that I need to deal with that? Or, like, did you draw the ice destruction? Because it's just, like, very card for card kind of play. It's like this card deals with that card, and this card deals with that card, and you have that card that deals with this card, and I need to have this other card to deal with that other card. Like it becomes, the game becomes very draw dependent when the meta becomes ice destruction. There's so much efficient install cards as well. Humanoid, top-down, war reception, etc. Yeah. And like the cost of fully op and flood the market to some extent. Like flood the market's like more balanced because flood the market's like, it is a double, cyclotron costs 3, like flood the market costs 3. It's not gaining you money, so like you are going down in credits, but and you also need to like actually, you don't have that many clicks to just set that up on that turn, right? But the fully op is what really lets that deck, you know, pull out of like any situation. Because it's like, not only can you like, you know, be poor and go install, gain 5. And I'm talking like the worst board state, right? Like the runner's been trashing all your stuff, but your ice is going to stay there. So you've got 2 servers, install 2 new cards, play fully up, gain 5. But like in other situations, you're like drawing a bunch of cards, and that's also insane. And like the cost, I'm just saying like the cost to get that ability is way too low. Seriously contemplating putting 3x perfect recall to try to stuff ice destruction. That's funny. It's not going to be consistent. That's funny. Yeah, that's interesting because it's like, it's dangerous, I guess, because if somebody's trying to void, or someone's trying to you know, crew you, and they like show up and then turns out that they can't crew the ice because you have perfect recall there, then they just have to let the subs fire. That's really scary, but like it's just going to be hella inconsistent because you have to have the ice in your hand. Like when you're playing a deck that is kind of spamming out ice, like how often are you going to have a second ice in your hand? And the right one too. Fully op, if they gain 1 credit like diversified portfolio, would make no one use it. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, if fully op said gain 1 or draw 1, it wouldn't see any play. But like, you know, that doesn't justify the current version of the card. But the problem, I mean, I would be like really going off about that deck if I was concerned about competitive balance, which I'm not. But if I was, like, let's just pull it up because we are talking about it. I am gonna finish up the stream here. Gonna play a couple games, but like this list, and I haven't really like put too much thought into like if this is the optimal list or if I would make some changes or something like that. But like the core of the deck is here, and the issue with this deck is kind of like the same problem that I had with Re-Education Neurospike. Is I feel like the deck is just like really good and really threatening at this thing if it draws well. And this is like a little bit more complicated than Re-Education Neurospike, but it's kind of still the same thing. Is like you can just draw like a god and win most of your games, and a lot of the times when you lose your games, it's because you didn't draw well, and there's very little like breathing room in the middle. There's some decisions you can make, like, you know, what ice do you put in front of your asset or your agenda, and like, but that's like most of the time that's just kind of like comparing ice A versus ice B. Otherwise, like the deck is mostly like just gonna fly, and there's not gonna be too many like complicated decisions, I think. yeah, like keep drawing cards, keep putting your cards behind single eyes servers, play your fully ops, play your flood the markets, like score when you can. Sometimes you might decide not to. Like I feel like what I'm mostly trying to say is maybe comparing it to Re-Education Neurospike is a little harsh. But I feel like in this deck, the interaction portion of Netrunner gets lost a little bit. Because you're mostly just like looking down and doing your thing, and your thing is really, really good, but like you're not. There's not a lot of there's not a lot of like maneuvering and plays that you're making, rather than just like finding the best line based off the cards that you've got in your hand. Yeah. There's a lot of cards that recover econ. YDL at 2. YDL is like can also be in a busted deck. That's like a different version of PD, but that's like the other version of PD that's also kind of like I have like similar dislikes about is the wage workers, like the wage workers PD, where you're just like scoring agendas at a hand and you're like playing YDL and you're scoring Midnight 3 Ecology. Like that deck is also another one where it's like, well, you could just draw well and just like blow people out. And that's like the deck's plan A. Extract is fine. Realloc is fine. That card is interesting. Like you get to derez your ice. Like derezing your ice is an actual cost. That's like a huge cost, right? And the card scales based off of how big your ice is. And if you put big ice in your deck, then you're gonna have a weak early game. Like that, there's like quite a bit of balancing there. It's no cap on the high end. That feels a bit much. Sure. Yeah. But no, see, like even then, Thanos, like the low end is like I'm just thinking the cost to play it is very low. Like extract gains you 3 credits, and you have to trash another card to gain 3 more. Like trashing a card is a cost. Like I think Ob as an ID shouldn't exist. That's a different like conversation. But like extract in a vacuum is like a fine card. And then like YDL is I don't know. If it were up to me, YDL also wouldn't get printed. But like it's okay. You have to have a lot of cards in your hand. Like sometimes that actually changes your play a little bit. Like you can get punished for playing all your cards on a previous turn and then drawing YDL. But like, you know, compared to the cost of making fully up work, like that's just putting cards behind ice. And as long as your deck is in a certain configuration where you've got like scatter fields and like ice that's kind of good on their own that you can kind of spread out there, which is like a lot of ice kind of fits that bill, but specifically in PD, like Scatterfield is really, really good. And then you just have like a lot of good assets and you can throw them out there, and like the cost of making it work is just not very high. Inconsistent unless you run Sentry deck and just spam destroyers. Inconsistent. I'm kind of behind on chat. I don't really remember what we were talking about anymore. Oh yeah, you're gonna play Product Recall. Is it called Product Recall? Product Recall? No, Product Recall is that other card. Product Recall is this card. What the heck is this other card called? Let me go back. Perfect Recall. Sure. And spam destroyers. This would be cool if there was still like ice that triggered when you accessed it, right? Every time you see editorial division across the table, you're gonna insta concede. So tired of dying because I haven't drawn any NFL yet. It's so toxic. Oh. What is editorial division doing? I haven't actually ran into one that you need no free lunch for. That might be yeah, that sounds, if that's true and you're like you need an NFL, like that does sound a little toxic, but I'm not sure what that is at the moment. Ban PD. Yeah, I mean, like, that is the crux of this. Like, I don't see, we were kind of talking about this earlier, right? It's like you could play a Flood the Market deck out of XID, but like there's not going to be a better one than it being played at a PD, because this just makes the most sense. You play Flood the Market in PD, and when you play it, you pick the card back up, you're good to go again. Like, sometimes you can score multiple agendas in one turn. I feel like it's very hard to justify playing this out of any other ID. Yeah, because in some ways, like, 2 copies is actually what you want here, because you just need to find one, and then you can just play it and get it back. Whereas in other decks, like, the fact that you play it and it goes in the bin is actually a pretty big limiting factor in Flood the Market. And like, that's going to push you towards playing 3 copies, and then if you play 3 copies, you're going to have more dead cards that you're drawing at the start of the game. So there's actually a lot of like natural balancing that PD gets around. Also, PD has an extra hand size for some reason. Like a Shoot the Moon PD. Shoot the Moon PD. Not sure. I'm not sure when that comment was made. I'm like so bad at reading comments at the time that they were sent. I will need to do better at that. My apologies. Tag storming you if you interact at all. Oh, sure. Like, they're just gonna play a lot of oppos, the editorial division, and they can play like Vulture Fun and give you a bunch of tags. Sure. Yeah, I can see that. That does sound annoying. You'd have to, yeah, you have to sit back a little bit and build up your money, and try to just like focus on what their threat actually is. Like, why are we running? Right, would be my tip there. Like, focus on, like, is there actually a score that they're threatening that's actually really bad for me that's worth the run, or should we actually just like sit back, let them score, or let them do the thing they're threatening to do? Because I'd rather get myself set up so I can be in a place where I can clear oppo tags. Oh, Shoot the Moon PD was the name of the PD deck that, yeah, with YDL in it. Yeah. That one was like with Big Deal. Yeah. I think I was originally talking about just like the Losky Pencil, like, you know, heavy reliance on wage workers and like nano management combos. But there's been like a couple decks that are just, you know, the YDL is like the crux. You'll find that I naturally, I mean, even like core damage PD, right? The salvo testing PD, like that deck plays YDL very effectively. Yeah, as I said, like you'll often find that like I naturally just like I don't want to play decks that have those power cards, because it makes the deck less consistent in my eyes, and I want to like there's going to be games where you win because you drew that card, and there's going to be games where you lose because you didn't draw that card, and I don't want to do that, unless I absolutely have to. So like this PD that we're looking at now, and also most YDL PDs are kind of like that, where like their money's not good until they play YDL, and like this deck obviously isn't good if you don't draw Flood the Market. So And if you compare that to like the decks that I usually play, there's no key card here. These all the cards are like they don't do the same thing per se, but they mesh together in a way where there isn't a single card that is crucial to the game plan, which I think to me is a bit more fun. Yeah, and then you have like the Glacier decks that I'm kind of known for playing, and like probably the key card in there is like the defensive upgrades and defensive agendas, but like you can win games comfortably without those. Do I need to slot NFL for tomorrow? Well, Joe, I mean, if you're not gonna build the Synapse deck, then maybe I will. A decision I'm gonna make in the next hour. Want more decisions? I have an RWS lat deck where you play Trash or Busto with your hand multiple times a turn. RWS. I am interested. I do need to call the stream because I'm getting tired and Fa is home and I need to call her. And I need to build decks to play tomorrow, and I also need to eat a little bit. I don't know what RWS stands for. What does RWS stand for? Okay, Thanos, you've made me read the comment and have engaged me in this conversation. So, read, write, share. That's like, I mean, is it kind of, this is a Shaper deck that, like, this is basically the Hiram deck, but it like is in lat with a lot more of the nonsense cut out. So you have just like good breakers and a good strong late game setup, and like is consistent, and you are playing the lat ID, which is just going to draw you cards. Something like this. This is a deck that came out of coaching, and it's like it's pretty good. Again, like a lot of similar cards that are in like a similar econ package in the Hiram deck. I think read, write, share is really, really strong. The not bookmark. Yeah, if people want to see me, like, if people want to see some more runner gameplay and see some more lat play or criminal or anarch or whatever, like, let me know in the comments. You're welcome to. Mine has Class Act and Knickknack Orca, and it's much more Highlander. Sure, yeah. I mean, send it to me. And if you want to see it played, I'll take a look at it, and maybe next time. No promises. Don't know when next time's gonna be. But yeah, definitely no promises. Like I might just like look at it and not do anything with it. Yeah. Oh, I see that you have sent it to me. Right. Yeah, and then you said Orca in the chat, so I imagine you're playing Beta Build and Knickknack. You're trying to use that as an econ engine. Got a Class Act. Class Act you could Knickknack as well, which is very interesting. That's something that is potentially quite good. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna call the stream there. It sounds like you're enjoying that deck, so sent it over on Discord. No expectations. Cool. I think it's probably unlikely, but just because, yeah. But maybe poke me again next stream, or maybe I'll kind of keep it in my mind if I'm streaming again sometime in the near future. Hey, sorry, was playing a game. Yeah, I'm following that advice for editorial division, but you can only sit back for so long before they fast advance out of tomorrow's headline, and then they're off to the races. That's scary. Yeah, I mean, headline's a once per deck card. I feel like a lot of the times, like, headline is something you just can't play around. And then sometimes you'll lose a game to it. And that's, like, unfortunately the card that exists. But you probably can't, like, go after that all the time. The run I finally made was to steal what turned out to be a witch hunt within a maze. End turn with one tag. Next turn, bigger picture, end of line, end of line. Wow. Sure. Yep. I'm just tilted. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, tags can definitely be very frustrating to play against. But witch hunt is a very high risk, high reward card. Like, I guess in, like, editorial division, you're gonna get a card out of it, but like 4/2's a difficult agenda to score. Take a bad pub is like, it'll kind of build on you. But Scapegoat's like pretty good at helping you clear the bad pub. Scapegoat's probably too good. And they had to, like, they were kind of like pushing the bad pub situation, and if you push the bad pub situation and you don't print Scapegoat, then that's, that's like, it's probably like Scapegoat's really what makes the bad pub decks work, or specifically editorial division. All right, the bad pub cards was how they tutored one of the kill cards. Yeah, exactly. Alrighty, thanks for joining me, everybody. I am gonna go and build a deck now and go play in my tournament tomorrow. Yeah, see you in the next one. Let me know if there's something that you want me to play, something you wanted me to build. Like, send it to me in the comments, and I might, I do look at them, and we might take you up on it. All right, thanks everybody. Catch you later.